everybody, and welcome back to another 52-week movie challenge. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody, and I don't know, I sound like I have a cold or something, so just bear with me. See, so we're this week, week 14, is based on a true story. So I decided to do The Disaster Artist, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. The year released was 2017. The date challenge completed was today, which is 4/5/22, which is the day before it goes out. Let's see. The genre is bio-comedy. The aspect ratio is 2:39:1. Running time is 1 hour and 44 minutes. Rated R. Starring James Franco, Dave Franco, Seth Rogen, and many others. James Franco directed it. Let's see, produced by James Franco, Seth Rogen, and a bunch of other people. Written by Scott Neustadter and Michael H. Weber, who did the amazing 500 Days of Summer, which I love, which may be on this 52-week movie challenge, or maybe on Film Freaks. It's one of those I may put on Film Freaks. Music by David Porter. Awards received was winner of the Capri Award, there's Actor Award, and the Screenplay Award. Why did I choose this film? Because I needed a comedy. I'll get into that when I get into the stuff too. Have you seen this movie before? Yep, lots of times. I love it. Would you recommend this film? Why or why not? Yes, I would. I love it. It's a lot of fun, especially if you're in the film business. You know a lot of this stuff, especially indie film business. You sort of know, like, okay, you know. All right, then let's see, which character were you most able to identify or connect with? I was like, maybe Sandy Claire, the guy that Seth Rogen played. He was kind of thrown off with working with Tommy. I would have been like, oh my goodness, this guy is, we'll get into that. We'll get into a lot of this stuff. The best line or memorable quote to me was, I'm just trying to give you a shortcut to success. Keep your shortcut in your pocket. Who the fuck says that? That sounds like something like a kid would say. I don't know, maybe. Were you surprised by the ending? What would you do differently? No, because I read the book. I wouldn't do anything differently because it's almost how it actually happened to real life. It's supposed to be based on a true story. It should be as close to what actually happened. After watching the film, do you want to learn more about the story? Why or why not? I always want to dig deeper into the story of how the room was made. Anything else I'd like to add? Nope, just watch it. All right, so I picked this to preface this by saying Monday, yesterday, which 2 days ago when this comes out, a really good friend of mine I heard passed away, Sierra Holmes, and it really hit me hard. But I knew I still had to do the stuff. Wasn't going to stop doing it, but I had to figure something that would be more comedic. And so it just hit me like a train. Why don't I do Disaster Artist? It's based on a true story. I probably covered this before on other things, and I probably continue to cover it because it's one of my favorite movies. The fact that it's hasn't been around for a long time and still is considered one of my favorite movies is it shot up there real freaking quick. Just like Ed Wood. I don't think it'll ever beat Ed Wood as far as like my favorite movie of all time, but I think it will literally be like Ed Wood, then Disaster Artist. And it's just one of those movies that I can watch over and over and over again. I know every line of the movie and I enjoy, so I guess we can talk a little bit about it. It's a story of how they made the movie The Room. And if you haven't seen the movie The Room, go see that movie. It is ridiculous. But I would suggest see it on Riff Tracks or see it on they do premieres and stuff. They do screenings, midnight screenings still to this day. So you can go see it. And Greg will be there, or Tommy will be there, both, sometimes. So it just depends, I guess, on the day and where they're at, and they'll be there and they'll meet with you. I have not done those yet. I really want to. I own the DVD. I want to own the Blu-ray at some point. I haven't done that yet. I haven't bought that yet, but I will. I own Birdemic on Blu-ray, so I'm sure The Room will come. Uh, all in all, this movie is just one of my favorite films. There's a couple things I wanted to mention. I've read the book, The Disaster Artist, first, and I absolutely loved it. And when I knew that they were making it into a movie, I got really excited, especially when the guys who did 500 Days of Summer were writing it. I was just like, this just seems like everything I've been wanting colliding. James Franco and Seth Rogen were working on it. Just a ton of this stuff. So I just really, really, really excited. So I watched it, and in the theater, and I loved it in the theater, and I was like, I need to own this movie. And I've seen it a bunch of times. I remember showing it to my roommate Jackie, who was like, I remember it was the first movie I like showed her since I was hanging out with her again, and she was not expecting to laugh, really. I don't know. Maybe she was thinking like most modern comedies at that time just weren't really that funny or something, but she wasn't expecting to laugh. And she, from the very minute James Franco did the Stella, thing, she was just like, her eyes wide open, and she was like, oh my God, what is this? And that, I think, is one of the things, like that scene, the scene in the diner where they're doing it and they're showing how fearless he is. I love that. I love how in the beginning of the movie, he's this fearless guy who's not afraid to get up there and just do whatever. And then he goes to like LA with Greg, and that crushes his spirit, because like Hollywood is just not the kind of place that this guy would be a movie person in. They keep saying, you could be Frankenstein. And he's like, I'm not Frankenstein, right? He's like upset about that. But that's the thing, like he's a tall guy, he's got long hair, like why not like think of yourself as Frankenstein? And he doesn't think of himself as a villain, and he's not. He's just a nice guy who, and a little bit of this movie feels like, Tommy Wiseau, who James Franco is playing, is sort of like this guy who I feel so terrible for, like, in a way, because I get it. When you have a good friend and you're trying to do stuff, his, like, the way that they kind of make this appear, which is really, really, really creepy, because James Franco and Dave Franco are brothers, and so for them to play like the best friends and have like this little bit of a, I don't know, weird chemistry with Tommy, like, has, like, you could tell sort of Tommy may not actually have those, and maybe that's a little bit of the untrue side, but maybe there's just something there. There was something that Greg picked up that in real life that he put into the book, and that translated to the screen. But it was sort of creepy side to him and everything. He really wanted to make something good. He wanted to make something on the level of like Rebel with a Cause or James Dean movie or whatever, and do some kind of drama that would change the world. Like, he wanted to own his own planet for real. And that's why he's got the Tommy's Planet like logo, Wiseau Films. He really wanted to own his own planet, where everybody was nice to everybody. And that's, I don't know, I feel like that's sort of a planet I don't think could ever exist, period. Though that would be nice, to go to a planet that everybody's nice to each other and there's no evil, or whatever. That would be amazing, but that's just, I don't know. Anyway, so this movie, all 1 hour and 44 minutes of it, is just amazing all the way through. They even show you side by side, like the real movie / what they did when they filmed scenes or whatever. And the film scenes were just amazing when they're shooting the room. That was so great. just all the stuff that actually went on in there. The fact that Tommy, there's things that they didn't even show that were great that were in the book. So I'd actually recommend buying the book as well. If you have not seen or have not read Disaster Artist, I would go and pick up the book, because it kind of fills in some stuff that even the movie didn't go into. I'm pretty sure they filmed some stuff too that they don't have on the deleted scenes. I don't think they have a deleted scenes. I'm not sure. I'd have to relook at my Blu-ray. But this movie is just one of those films I rewatched on Netflix. You can watch on Netflix. God, I'm sorry. I am coughing and sounding terrible. I don't know why I've got a cold all of a sudden. But that's just fantastic, isn't it? But yeah, so yeah, that's about it. I mean, this movie is so much fun. If you haven't seen it, watch on Netflix. If you haven't read the book, go read the book. Both, I recommend them both. I had a blast. I love the making of it, because it's just so dumbfounding. If you haven't seen The Room, definitely see The Room. That is a must, because it is so ridiculous. But if you watch The Room, say you buy it, go bring a bunch of friends, have a few drinks. I don't drink, but you guys can. Go have a few drinks and watch this movie, because I swear to God, you will need to have friends with it, so you guys can just all laugh at it. Because if you watch it by yourself, you might be like, oh, this is kind of boring. You watch it with friends, you'll be like, oh my God, what is this movie? So yeah, so that's it. I recommend this movie completely, 100%. Check it out. Next, let me just go right into next week's challenge. Is a B movie. Not going to do The Room. Sorry. Probably do something that I'm not going to be doing for Indie Film Cafe. But yeah, that's interesting. All right. We went from Disaster Artist to doing a B movie. Fun. Well, thank you guys for checking this out. Check us out next week when I'm doing a B movie. And it can be anything, because I've got loads of B movies that I haven't watched yet. So there you go. All right. Well, thank you guys for checking us out. Have a good one. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.